Hello, everyone. I hope that you can hear me. See, I testing the audio. If you can hear me, if you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube or on here on Zoom, can you please just do a thumbs up or do some kind of sign so I can see you? Know that you are listening to me, you are hearing me. Can you listen? Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Well, on Zoom we have a few people here. Thank you so much, Mr. Ruben, Sister Chona, and the rest of the TAIC members. Thank you for joining us here on Zoom and online. Thank you those that are joining us on the different online streaming services. We are streaming live right now on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So you can just search for Trinity International Adventist Church, or you can search for Community 7 in any of these platforms, and you will be able to look at the streaming, the live streaming. I believe that we have a little bit of lag on the streaming service, but if you are not able to join us there, you can also join us on Zoom through the link that is provided there on our website at bangkokadventist.com. Okay, I hope that everything is going well, that you had a great week. And again, today we're joining again together to discuss a little bit more about living the digital missionary life. So welcome all to our weekly live course, and topic discussion today is choosing our equipment, or choosing your equipment. In this series of live presentations and Q&As, we are going to learn and to navigate the intricate world of social media and digital evangelism, how we can live digitally connected lives, and how as Christians we can live and fulfill the Great Commission to go and make disciples. And we can go and do this through social media and through digital evangelism. We will learn to excel in social media evangelism, influence change online, and financially support ourselves. So I invite you to join me every Tuesday at 7:50 Bangkok time and change your life, embracing new technologies and a digital way of life. In the next 30 minutes, you are going to learn my strategies and my vision on online evangelism and how to better understand and reach out to the digitally connected world and our friends. We are live streaming again on bangkokadventist.com and at community7.org, as well on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So please just search online for any of those platforms, and you can find them by searching for Trinity Adventist International Church. Don't forget, at the end of the presentation, we'll have a Q&A that you can ask questions. So if you are online, you can use any of the chat boxes. So if you are on our Zoom call, you can open your microphone, or you can also put your questions there on the chat. Again, today's topic of discussion is choosing the equipment. So what equipment do we use or do we need for accomplishing our digitally connected world? A little bit about myself. I am a theology graduate from Andrews University. I worked in the church system for over 12 years, from ministry all the way to administrator in the Adventist educational system. And my last position was as Director of Marketing at Asia Pacific International University here in Thailand, in Mokleg. And since then, I have devoted my last 2 years here in Bangkok to really work and research and study and prepare what it is digital evangelism and working a digitally connected life. So I hope that you can learn from my experience and you can learn from what I have done in these past few years. Okay, now I would like also to know that God is here with us in our meeting, and I will ask for each one of us to take a moment to just pray in our hearts and ask God to join us in this meeting. Ask God to come and fill our hearts, fill our minds, that He might open up different ways of communication, although we are distant and far away from each other, that we might be able to connect with each other, and we might be able to be connected and find what God wants us for us. So I ask for His presence and the Holy Spirit to be with each one of us this evening. Okay, now let's dive in right into the topic of tonight's discussion: choosing the equipment for a digital connected life. Now, we have discussed in our previous meetings, so you understand my point of view, or my point where I stand about digital evangelism. Digital evangelism is about discipleship. So I connect a lot of what is discipleship or digital evangelism with the same thing that we do in business for marketing or for public relations, how we connect with the client. So this is a serious business, and I understand that if you are trying as a business to connect with a client and make sure that the person buys your product, but not only buys your product once, but continues to come into your business and continue to buy the product, you cannot just expect to just have a good product and wait for them to make orders for you. They might buy one time, but the second time they order, that is the charm. That's the one that you have to make sure that the people keep coming back for more information. And many times you need to go out and connect with them. Ask them how they're doing. Now, throughout this pandemic around the world, we're seeing more and more small and medium-sized businesses struggling to stay alive. And those that are thriving are those that were able to make a personal connection with their clients, to be able to see the needs of the clients, be able to connect with them, and be able to really continue to serve those clients through the long period of time. Now, here's where the opportunity comes for us to learn of how this new normal can help us in reaching people for Christ, because this is not something new. It's something that has been on the works for many years already. Social media and the internet has been crawling into our lives as a digital virus, you might say, or a digital new way of life that has been entering into our lives and slowly trying to really help us connect with people and changing the way that we socialize, the way that we interact with people. Now, this pandemic has just magnified the effect that online, internet, digital connected life had on the world. I've magnified this by showing us how easy it is to connect with people. And those people that were already connected, that were already had a large following and were able to connect with their following, have grown even more. Don't mention those people that are growing at the thousands, even millions of followers in 1 week in TikTok. Of course, that's a specific platform that we will discuss in the future, and I really looking forward to that discussion about TikTok. But really and truly, the thing is that this pandemic has changed our world, but not necessarily have changed from day to night, but it's a change that was already coming, a change that was years in the making. But it just happens to be that this pandemic has brought out to light many of these things. Now, what it is that discipleship, it means in connecting with people. So when we're talking about digital evangelism or digital ministry, it's not about me having a website or me having a camera or having a great attitude and be able to really shine on the screen and be able to have a great storyline or blog every single day. It doesn't have to be something extraordinary or something extravagant. You don't have even to create any content to be a digital missionary. You have to connect with people. And that's the most important thing that missionaries do. They connect with people. Last week, I told you a little bit about the story of my grandfather, how he used to travel to the deeps of the jungle in the Amazonas to really connect with those tribes there and be able to make them acquainted, see their needs, see where they are, and start working with them to teach them or to show them what it is to be a Christian or what it means to be a Christian. And evangelism, the discipleship have not changed. Discipleship in the process is the same process that it was done even in the time of Jesus. This only the difference is that now those connections have to happen through a little hole in your camera or maybe through your keyboard, or maybe through different forms of connection that you have online. But it doesn't happen person to person. And that is something that is for us to keep in mind, that digital evangelism, digital ministry, it is about connection. It's about creating connection. So this is why I want us to try to see the evangelism as part of a lifestyle, because it can bring us the joy of sharing the gospel. At the same time, it can bring us financial benefits. It can give us also social benefits. It can give us even family benefits. So now when you're choosing your equipment, how to choose, now I want to approach that discussion from the angle that we understand that ministry is about connectiveness. It's about connecting with the people and creating a dialogue, creating a connection. So that is the key for discipleship. I have to be able to connect with you and know how you are, what are your needs, and really reach you individually. It's, for example, like before when we were taught that or told that we had to go and distribute tracts. We say, oh, I'm going to do missionary work, and we were given a bunch of 1,000 tracts, and we go out on the streets and we just give it away and we throw them and we got it into buses. I'm not saying that that is not ministry. Those tracts that we put in people's hands, the Holy Spirit can work through them and can transform their lives. But that tract is only a vessel for that change. The change truly happens when that person meets somebody of that faith or meets somebody in the church and is able to connect with that person, because the ministry, discipleship, is not an impersonal message. It's not an impersonal connection. It's something that I'm going to read the Bible and become transformed. It is a personal connection. So the gospel is not only about the gospel in the Bible, but it's about your gospel. So that person that reaches and reads that pamphlet, that tract, then knows some information and wants to know more. And now the question is, who are they going to ask for more information? Do they know a neighbor? Do they know a friend? Do they know a co-worker, a classmate that might be able to answer that question? Who they can connect with? Do they know somebody maybe online? Maybe they follow somebody and they notice, oh, they're using the same Bible verse here as they show at the end of the videos. Or they say the same thing that they are saying on the screen. And they are able to just reach out and ask questions. Reach out and connect with you. That's why the most important part of ministry is connecting with people. Not necessarily the big information, the big thing that you have to follow millions or thousands of people, but be able to connect with that one person that needs to be reached by the Holy Spirit. Now, with that in mind, I'm gonna go from discussing from the large, if you want to make digital evangelism ministry your lifestyle and your source of income, as well just something that you will do as part of your lifestyle, just to share. Now let's start with our lifestyle, right? If I am a normal person, I'm not looking forward, I don't want to devote my life to digital evangelism or to live a digital life and be able to work online or be able to earn something from the work that I am doing, sharing with you, but I just want to be able to connect online and see that new society that is living inside of our computers or our digital devices. Now, in this aspect, you might say, well, what kind of material I want to share? And we discussed this 2 weeks ago when we talked about what to share. And we said that there are different types of content that you can share. Educational, the evergreen content, very good content to share. Takes a little bit more work. That's something that you have to sit down and think through what you want to share, what information, what education you can share with people. Then you have entertainment. Entertainment could be something simple, anything that can really entertain people. You can hook them for about 10 or 5 minutes and you can have something fun to do. I have a friend that is actually joining us on Zoom, and he has a nice YouTube channel that is growing very nicely. It's almost to 1,000. Maybe with your help he can reach to 1,000 this week if he didn't do it already. It's Alex Cooks on YouTube, so you search for him. And he only makes 3 or 4 minutes video. I hope that he doesn't get angry with me for sharing his information. But he just shares 2 to 3 minutes of video, very short message, very short video, but it's very engaging and it's entertaining to watch. So that's content that you can go and watch, and it's entertaining, and it's something that is even if you don't understand the language that they're speaking, it's entertaining to watch, and that is something that is important. Now the third type of content is now personal content. It's something that is for you, sharing out. For example, people that have the blogs and they like to write, they like to express their thoughts in writing, or just sit down in front of the camera and record a blog and say something about it. And the fourth type is family videos, type of material that you will only share with your family, things that your personal life, your family, your experiences, things that you will only share with family. So those different types of videos you can do on a general basis, and it's something that you don't need to do consistently, and if you just want to start. And as Casey Neistat said once, the best camera you have is the one that you have at hand right now. So you have to just have a way of recording and sharing those content, and that's where the evolution of TikTok has taken place, because it has broken the gap of entry to digital space from having to record a video that looks nice and then having to edit it so it will be perfect, and then having to have a very good camera, very good lighting, very good audio, something that you can just hold in your hand for 15 seconds, for 30 seconds, and just share what you are doing, and no editing, no problem. If you want, you just come and just put a few words, just do something nice there in front, and you are done. In less than 60 seconds you can have a video up and sharing, and it's a very interactive ad. So the barrier of entry for digital sharing has been shrunk, and now it's easier. And even now with broadcasting, that you can broadcast live and you can be sharing live with people without having to edit or having to have a big set in your house, is something that is really amazing for us to do. Now, here is the principle of what equipment to purchase. Now, of course, you see what kind of ministry you're going to have. It's a personal ministry, something personal. How you best connect with people. Is it through video? You have a personality where you can talk to people and share with them, or it's a personality that you maybe don't want to be in front of the camera, but you like to see other people. You have to see what other people are doing, and you like to scroll through it. Maybe you scroll to this side in one app, or maybe to the other app, you scroll up and you see what they are doing. Well, that is a type of ministry as well. Just stop and comment. Make a meaningful comment. Connect with the person. See what they're doing. Look at the other comments and comment on their comments as well. Start an interaction that people will start to see you and start to identify with you. Even though you have no website, you have no social media account, you don't have many followers, people are seeing your comments. And what you comment there is very important. That is a type of ministry. You are connecting with people. Every morning when you wake up, you always open your phone, maybe first, second thing in the morning. I doubt that any of us open our phones more than the 15 that we do after we wake up. And then what do? Do we DM somebody? Can we just choose somebody at random to DM? Just send them a message, a chat in the morning. Hello, good morning, have a beautiful day. I just thought about you. I want you to know that I want you to have a great day. That is a way to connect with people. And you start to make those connections, start to remember who they are. And of course, because this is something that is important for us, we do it with our heart. And we start to take notice of who we want to reach, who is connecting with me, who is connecting with my way of thinking, with my struggles, my difficulties. And that starts to come forward. And that's something also that is wonderful here online, is that in person, sometimes the next step is the hardest. The step from where we have been noticed, where we have some kind of information from each other and we kind of connect, like for example with a co-worker. I'm very good relationship with this co-worker. We can relate, we can talk about many topics, but I just don't know how to bring up the topic of the Bible. I just don't know how to bring about faith. And maybe the person already have questions, but that person is maybe also shy of asking about it. So we need to find a way of what's the next step. But now online, digitally, it has become a little bit easier because on your profile, on every social media account, you can have a link. And people can go there and see more about you. And that is a key part. In business, we call that a call to action. That we want people to look at our ad, look at our post, and then tell them, you want to know more? Check my link. Now, every 10,000 people that see your post, maybe only 2,000 people will click on that link. But as a business person, you want to know who clicked on that link. Who was the person that was interested in knowing more? So when they click on that link, they start to collect information about the person. They start to trying to find out who that person is or from where. So have a better idea of what kind of content people are interested about, what kind of content people are looking for. And then after that, they go to a page where I can see what they are thinking about, what they are interested about. And in my page, in my website, as a business that have no page, is pretty much not a business, because you have no way of really transforming people from the social media or from the campaigns towards somewhere where they can see really what they are about and what they are offering. And here is what we need to be sure of: what link we are putting on our social media accounts. Are we putting links there to what kind of websites? Can we link there our church website? Can we link there maybe a Bible study? Maybe I can have my own website. Of course, if you know me, if you have heard about Community 7 before, we have an online ministry here at Trinity Adventist National Church that will give you a free website. So maybe you can check it out sometime. We can talk about it. Advent.me. Advent.me. Just go to that website and you will be able to start your own website right away. Now, and completely free. Now, and they come there, and from there I can tell the world what I'm about. I can tell the world what I believe. I can tell the world, if you want to know more about the Bible, here's a study from It Is Written, or here's a Bible study from Hope Channel. And you can link that right there. So pretty much your co-worker, all they have to do is to Google you or have you as friends on the social media accounts. And if you're friends with somebody, for sure you'll go and see the profile. For sure you'll go most likely and click there in that link to see more about the person. And that's how easy it is to tell somebody, I believe in Jesus. To believe somebody is that I believe in the Bible, because you have their information on your bio and you have information that will link them to somewhere where they can get more details. You can link them to a Bible study, you can link them somewhere. Don't push them, but let them come to you, and then we follow. We need to have, as a Christians, and that's something that we are working very hard here in Community 7 and the different online ministries that we have at Trinity International Adventist Church, is that we are trying to connect with people, trying to find a way how we can connect with them after they come to the website, after they ask for a Bible study. How can you continue to know who they are and follow up on that? And that is really what we need to do. We need to know who they have. Maybe, or most likely, they will come to you the next day. You go work and tell you, hey, I went to your website and I saw a Bible study there. I signed up for it. It looks nice. Or maybe if you want, if your thing is not Bible study, which is understandable, you can have links to studies on health, to studies on food, on vegan food, on recipes, on healthy living. There are so many Bible studies already online from our Seventh-day Adventist Church, already there to be used. So then, what equipment do you need to buy? What do you need to buy? You need to buy something that will make it easy for you to connect with people. Something that makes that transition seamless. Do you need a phone? Maybe if you are only taking messages and you're only writing messages, that's your ministry. Maybe you need a phone that has a little bit more size, that you can see the messages clearly, that it can help you type faster. So what do you need? Today you can access some of these cheaper phones that will do the same thing in this regard. If only you're doing is browsing the internet and checking social media and commenting on people, you don't need to buy a 40,000 baht phone. You can buy a one of 9,000. They have this line of Samsung A series that they are very good buck for the money. And here is something that is very important for me to share with you, is the return on investment. And this is something that many of us that want to get into digital work don't take in consideration. The return on investment, or what we call in business ROI, is what I'm going to get back from my investment. So when I ask myself, if I'm going to buy a 40,000 baht phone, how long will it take me through my ministry to pay this back? Or better yet, how will this 30,000 difference in price will make my work better or easier? And generally, because of technology has increased so rapidly, right now we are seeing that the entry level price, right, give you good enough quality, but not necessarily the best yet. So you need to up a little bit more. So maybe for a fraction of that cost, you can get a jump in quality that is this high. But after you reach to this high, to this level, the price difference from here is very big, and the change in quality is very small. And that is really the difference here, how things connect and how it works online. You have to see how much return are you going to get on your investment, and also how easy it is to use. Sometimes we get frustrated or we get complicated things with trying to buy the perfect light setup or the perfect camera or the perfect monitors or the perfect audio that we want, that it takes so long for us to set up everything before I start recording. Why do I record here on a white background? Because for me it's easier to just come, sit down here and start shooting. I don't need to worry that the kids are playing, that today I have 3 boys and they have been playing all around and the toys are all over the floor. I don't have to worry that before I start shooting, I have to clean everything. I can just sit down and shoot. And that is something that we all can have, something that is not very expensive and that we can really use. So think first about the return on the investment. What software or what equipment you have right now that you can use, and the difference in price from what you have right now to what you want to get. In that difference in price, how better quality or how much return will that give you? And then estimate how is that going to happen. Now, for example, after you buy your phone or you have your phone already, most of your phones I'm sure can shoot already 1080p, which is a high definition video. That's all you need. Right now you are seeing me online and it's a little bit choppy on the video, is because, well, my computer is not that good and cannot handle the resolution that I'm working at uploading. But the camera can shoot actually in 4K, and this is an iPhone 6 that I'm using right now to talk to you, iPhone 6s. So it's not really that much difference in quality from an iPhone 6s to an iPhone SE, for example, that is the cheapest iPhone right now on the market for about 14 to 16,000 baht. All right. So the difference in price is not much, but the quality is quite higher. So for example, for me, if I were to upgrade, I will upgrade to something like the iPhone SE, which is the cheapest iPhone, but the jump in quality will be much higher than if I go from the SE at 16,000 baht to the iPhone 11 Pro, which is 40,000 plus. So you see the difference in price, and then you see the difference on return that you will get. Now, for example, I want to share with you some other equipment that you can think about when you are coding. And then if you are talking about video recording, now on video sometimes we want to get the best quality on image, but really and truly the most important thing on our videos is not the video, but it is the audio. how are you hearing the people, how the people are hearing you. For example, even if you're doing a podcast, especially if you're doing a podcast, you want to have good audio. But to have that perfect and great audio that we normally are accustomed to, you don't need expensive equipment. Let me show you some of the things that I have worked with these past few years that can maybe work for you. Okay, let me just bring up my screen here for you so you can see a little bit. For example, this is one of the things that I bought, and it's something that is very affordable. It's 500 baht on Lazada. I just like to compare prices here, and this is normally a good price range. And this is the Boya MM1, and I have one here, for example, that I'm not using. And this is the microphone that you get, and it's not something that is very. Let me show you the video here. Oh, let me see. Okay, maybe you can see this on the camera. And this is the microphone that comes here, and it's not very big, and it just fits on your screen, on your phone. Just connects through one cable to your phone, and you can put them in the stand that you're using, and this increases the quality of your video quite significantly. And the price again is not something that you need to break the bank on it, and the quality is quite good as long as you have it, the space between you and the phone is not something that will actually be too much. If you have a lot of distance between them, then sometimes you can have difficulties. Okay, I'm having some problems with I was talking so good about my phone, and now I'm having some challenges with it. So let me just switch back here to my webcam, and here you can see that I have the distance from here to my mic. I have one like this standing just about 30 centimeters from my mouth, and that's what you're listening to right now. And so keep it as close as possible. If you're doing podcasting, this is quite okay for you. You can use it something close to your mouth, and with the dead cat that they say that it's called this a dead cat, it comes already with it. It can reduce your breathing, the noises that you hear on your breathing, and this is something that will be a very good entry level, and it will not break the bank. Another thing that you can use also is a lapel mic. Some people like to use these lapel mics. Is the quality can vary, depends what environment you have in your room. If you have a lot of noise, maybe you want to have something like this. That will be more of a noise cancellation microphone that will only take audio from the front and not from the sides, and very little from the back. So you can cancel off the audio that is in your room or wherever you are filming. But if you have a quiet room, somewhere that you can film with no distractions, or you can record your audio, this little lapel mic that I'm showing you here could be quite okay. It's again the Boya BYM1. Is also priced quite reasonably. Now these are the same equipment that actually they have on the more expensive line. For the Roda, for example, they have a Roda line of microphones that have the same specs, but they are about 2 times or 3 times more expensive. And again, as I said before, the quality does improve with these brand name microphones, but the quality and price, the change in quality and price is not that much. So from the quality from no microphone from your phone to a microphone, 500 baht microphone on your phone, the quality improvement is this big. But if you change from this 500 baht microphone to a 12,000 baht or a 3,000 baht microphone, the difference in quality will be maybe this much, even though the difference in price is very large. And that is really the difference here in equipment, that you want to look at something that will be accessible to you. You don't want to break the bank, especially when you are starting. You don't want to start buying equipment and not really knowing what you will need and how you will use it. Start with what you have. Start with what you have in front of you. Start looking at what it does for you, how you can connect with people, how you can touch their lives, how you can follow up with them, and then you start seeing how you can make it easier. the quality that you will get pretty much is the basic, is pretty much that is acceptable right now. So yes, maybe not focus so much on spending money on something that will increase the quality, but rather spend money whenever you can on something that will make your job easier, or to make your process a little bit easier. So you don't have to spend so much time worrying about the equipment, but rather just on the creative and the connection part. Another thing that you might also need from the start will be a tripod or microphone stand. This is just one that I just pulled out from Lazada. I'm not promoting these specific products. I use some of them, and I can show you, I can share them with you because I have used them, and I can say that they are pretty good money for the investment and good return on investment. But not necessarily you have to buy those products. There are other products in the market that you can test and you can see, and a short trip to MBK will show you how much variety you have. But pretty much in this entry level part in choosing your equipment, I would just remind you that the important part is for you to start doing it, and as you go on, as you start sharing, as you start filming, as you start typing, as you start writing, as you start commenting, as you start liking and subscribing, then you start to see what really you need. Maybe at the morning after you worship at 5 in the morning, you just sit down for half an hour to your phone and start commenting on people, and start sharing with people, start giving comments, giving thumbs up, and sharing with them your day. And that's something that can get you started. Okay, we're almost to the end of the presentation. My time is almost up, and I want to give you time also to ask some questions. If you are with us on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch, please feel free to comment on the comment section below or on the side, and you will be able to get your comments through me, and I'll be happy to comment on what you say or answer your questions. Right, now I go to the professional side. If you want to start getting some money, some income from your effort, now in that side it's a little bit more purposeful, because now you're not only sharing because you love it. You start by loving it, but then you also want to make a living out of it. So in that case, you have to think about more about the long-term plan, because any business, any endeavor that you take is going to be a long-term plan. There is no become rich quick scenario, even on the internet, on social media. Any story or anybody that tells you that they have a golden nugget, that they have the key for you to make money online, I'm sorry, but most likely they are lying to you, because there's no golden nugget. There's no one answer for how to make it in life. There's no shortcuts. It is about working and working hard and being consistent with it. So if you're going through that process, then you start to see about what you want to share, what content you want to share, how you want to do it, and then you start looking at the equipment that will match those needs. So you need a better camera, you need a better tripod, you need a teleprompter that you can read out of. And here in Asia, we're in a great position that we can order things from China, order things from all around the world, and they'll come to us at a discounted price sometimes. So you can start with some of the equipment that are very accessible to you and no need to break the bank. And especially if you are starting it on your business side, try not to spend money on it until you are making money. And you will not be making money at least for the next 8 to 24 months if this is what you're looking for. It takes quite a bit of time for you to start making any substantial income online, but once you start doing it, once you start finding the way forward, then it's going to be easier. And that's also something that we can help you with, that I'll be happy to share with you, to help you a little bit along the way as you find how to make the money, what products or what services you can supply online that can make it happen. And depending on those areas, then you can choose your equipment. By the basic information of whatever equipment you're going to buy, how to choose the equipment is choosing the best return on your investment. See how much quality or how much easier the job is going to get with that amount of money. Can you get similar or close to similar amount with quality or easiness of doing work with less? Or do you need to spend that, and how you can stage that into your growth so you can do it? So I hope that this helps you. I hope that my experience a little bit touches with you and can be part of your involvement in social media ministry and online digital ministries, and it can start you in the way of connecting with people and making a difference in the life of people. Now I would like to hear some of your comments if you have. So if you are online with us on Zoom or on any other social media, or if you are on the chat, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, please send me your comments. You have any comments, any questions you want to ask? Right now I would like to hear you. Yes, we have a few friends on Zoom. Feel free to just begin whenever you are ready. I have a question here that it asks, should I buy a new phone to start my work, or should I use my computer to do digital evangelism? Now, when using, again, if you already have a computer that is doing the work for you, just check and see how much easier it will be on your phone. The advantage for me on the phone is that the apps are normally easier to use than in a computer programs, and I have it with me all the time. Phone will actually, I have it with me all the time, and I can do the work at any moment. So, for example, for me, even if I'm talking about the difference between buying a camera and a phone for what I'm doing, I will choose the phone at this stage of my business because the phone gives me multiple uses, and even sometimes I will also choose a tablet over a phone, or for example, an iPad Mini over a phone, depending of what my needs are and how do I do the work. So it's not necessarily as to see the difference, but a computer sometimes can make it easier for you to do things, and sometimes a computer can make it a little bit more difficult because of the virus, the software, and all the different things that you need to put into the computer to keep it up and running. And it's something a little more bulky to work with. When you have a phone that you can rely on and you can go around and just shoot and take pictures and make nice things to share on social media, I think it's a little bit more useful for you. In our days, almost 78%, if I remember correctly, of the traffic online comes from the phones. So it is something that is not abnormal for us to use the phone over a laptop. Even many of the websites, and actually the websites that we provide at advent.me through community7.org, is about to use online on your phone. So you can develop that on your phone without the need of a computer, because that's where we are moving towards. So thank you so much for your question. Anybody else would like to have a comment or question as we close on Zoom? Anybody would like to share? Correct. Yeah, somebody else here on Facebook. If it is practical to buy a DSLR camera for video making. Now, again, here, if you are doing it for cameras, are something that are very important in the digital space. If you are a hobbyist, for example, of photography, having no camera is like a chef having no knife. No? But if you are now being introduced into filmmaking, you are now being introduced into YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or any of the platforms, Twitch, that you are going to start streaming or you're going to go start recording. If this is the first thing that you're going to do, I will say hold. Save your money because the cameras, DSLR cameras, can get very expensive very quickly. Body of a good DSLR camera plus the lenses might get you about 800 US dollars. So that's close to 20,000 baht and going up. And that's a camera that, how often do you use it? Now, for me, for example, that I spend most of my time on video calls, I have not had the need to buy a DSLR because more of my work on my calls are on Zoom or Skype, and I use my my webcam or use my phone as my webcam, and that is enough for me. But you have to see if you're going to spend a lot of time filming and it will make your process of filming and editing easier, then you have to weight those return on investment. So I started, I remember 2 years ago, filming on my iPhone, and then after I moved to an iPad because I was also editing on the iPad. I was editing on LumaFusion on the iPad, and it was easier for me to record on 1080p on the iPad. The camera was not very good, and then right from there I will edit it on LumaFusion. After a while I learned how to shoot on the phone on a higher quality 4K and then transfer those files to the tablet to be edited. Now when you are working with a DSLR, you want to be shooting maybe on 1080p, on 4K. How do you transfer those files to your editing machine, and what are the requirements there? So then if you're going to spend 20 to 30,000 baht on a DSLR camera, and then for you to really have the return on your investment, you need to invest another 30,000 baht or 40,000 baht on buying a better computer or a better iPad Pro. Then you're talking about not a 20 or 30,000 baht investment on the DSLR. You're talking a long-term investment of 80 to 100,000 baht on camera plus computer or camera plus new iPad that you need to really take the most out of the quality. So I really, my advice is to look at the return on investment first, and then at your needs and how those two match up. Right? Most I'm seeing right now, the YouTubers and the TikTokers and the Instagrammers that have seen to use it as a business and grow very fast is because they are posting regularly. They are posting a lot, and they're posting regularly, and they're commenting and engaging with the people online. And for this kind of production in the fast pace that you need to produce 2 or 3 types of 4 types of content every single day, be on a live chat every single day, and be able to respond to the tweets and to respond to the messages very quick, I think the phone is quite enough, because quality is becoming more important. Quantity of your connection with people is becoming more important. How often you talk to your friends is becoming more important than how much the quality of that is, because in discipleship mainly you are really trying to connect the people with you. The difference if you have a business is because you're trying to connect people with your business, so you want your business to have that image of perfection, and that is something that we are trying to move away from an image of perfection to an image of being genuine. So you are yourself and you are truthful. So whatever you're going to share with your friends, you're going to share with your followers, it is truth and it is you. So they can connect with you, they can connect with who you are. Thank you so much for that question, Joy Negre on Facebook. Anybody else? Maybe on Zoom we have somebody that wants to ask a question as we close. Okay, with that, I'll thank you all for joining me tonight in this live session. I ask you to please invite your friends, please let them know about the link at bangkokadventist.com or on Facebook and YouTube, so they can join us again. This is only our 3rd session here. I know that the video quality is a little bit funky, still kind of lagging there behind my voice. We'll continue to work and see how we can fix this and make it a nicer experience in the future. But again, thank you so much for joining. May God be with you. May God bless you. May God work through your ministry, that every word that you type, that every connection that you make online might be a blessing to the people, that you might be able to connect with them and be able to start sharing a little bit more about you, about your struggles, about your life, your relationship with Christ, that our ministry online might start to take shape, and that we might be able to make the right decisions to continue to serve God in every way. Again, thank you so much for joining. May God bless you